Hello and welcome to Business Matters, a show about people behind businesses that help make Tacoma a great place to live and work. I'm your host, Mike Wark, and today, in the spotlight, kitties and caffeine become the perfect match at a 6th Avenue coffee shop. The Hilltop and Stadium District share a bond with the future expansion of light rail on District Focus. And on this episode of Tacoma Means Business, Andrew Fry stays positive on keeping your cash flow rolling. And today my guest is Laura Malcolm, owner of Give InKind. Welcome, Laura.
Thanks. So happy to be here.
So great to have you here and to hear about your business. First of all, another woman entrepreneur-owned business in Tacoma, proud to be so, and a great story. But also your website is just phenomenal. Tell us about your business.
Thank you. So Give InKind is a social platform for coordinating support through what we call major life disruptions.
So if I have a family member who has cancer and I'm so caught up with that and everyone's asking me, what can I do?
Yeah, I mean, cancer support, just a new baby, postpartum support, anybody who lands in the hospital unexpectedly, we've lost a loved one, we have a family member who's deployed, we're coordinating support for an aging loved one. So anytime you have people coming together to try and figure out how best to help, especially whether it's neighbors next door or our family across the country. So Give InKind is a single platform where they can coordinate that support.
So I'm in this situation, and I've seen this. People try and figure out, how can I let people know what we need? And you've designed a website that makes that super easy, because you know all the things that they might need.
Yeah, well, what we find is that, so all the things that people may need is a big number of items, but every situation is really different. And so what we found was that people were having to use different websites. One place to coordinate meal drop-offs, for example. One place to get donations through crowdfunding. One place to make a wish list and say, here are the things that we might need. And I thought that seemed really disjointed. So we should put it all together in one place. So on Give InKind, you have what we call a care calendar. So people can sign up for meal drop-offs, pet care, child care, transportation. They can also build a wish list. So sometimes we need things during those times that it's not money, right? Money doesn't solve everything. Sometimes it's really important, but sometimes we know that we need grocery gift cards or gas gift cards. If we have a family member that's in the hospital in Seattle, we're driving back and forth every day. That's a lot.
It starts to add up.
Yeah, so we put it all together in one place. So we have a calendar, crowdfunding, and wish list.
And I noticed that for your calendar, even if you have a dog at home that needs walking, that's something people can sign up to do. That would be a tremendous relief if you were in the hospital with a loved one and the dogs were back at home.
It's not just a relief. We have a doctor who spoke to us on Give InKind and talked about the fact, an emergency room doctor in rural New York, and he said that he signs elderly patients out of the hospital against medical advice every day because there's no one there to take care of their pets.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real issue. Wow. So it's those little tasks that really would communities want to come together and people say, how can I help? And sometimes it's dropping off dinner, but sometimes it's getting a ride to the doctor because somebody is sick and needs to go back and forth from the hospital, and we don't all have communities that are spouses, partners, family members who can drive us every day because people are working, and so it's just a great way to divvy up the support.
So I wouldn't be sitting around thinking, what kind of business could I start, and probably come up with this idea. And I've learned that a lot of great entrepreneurs develop ideas from personal experiences and have an aha. So what is the founding story? How did you come to this realization that there's a need?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for better or worse, I'm somebody who's experienced a lot of these situations in my life. Okay. And so I actually transitioned. I'm a native Tacoman, so I graduated from Charles Wright, went to UW. But then right after I graduated from college, I actually didn't even know that I was going to work in technology. But my father passed away.
Oh my gosh.
He was 50 and I was 23, and
so young.
He was too young. And we had been working, I had not been working in technology. I was a nanny, my brother was a teacher, and wouldn't you know, within a year of our father's passing, we had both started working in technology. So I worked the next 10 years in tech, and then unfortunately experienced the unexpected loss of my first daughter when I was 8 months pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
So stillbirth is a thing that happens to people. I didn't know that. And really, it's not talked about enough. So our friends and family around the country didn't know how to respond. As I said, my family was here in Seattle, but we were living in Los Angeles at the time, and my husband's family was in New York.
Wow.
So everybody tried to figure out how best they could help us from around the country, and they signed up. Somebody created a meal calendar for us, and people jumped in to sign up. But then they were trying to figure out, where can we order delivery? Where do you need takeout from? Who can we send groceries? What's the best thing to send? What should we say? How do we respond in this situation? And I just knew that there was a better web solution that could be built to solve that problem.
The stories like this fascinate me because here you are experiencing this, but I can just imagine, because of your tech background and the way that you look at problems and solutions, that your brain probably started to assemble all these different things and put them together.
It did it immediately. I actually have I share a photo quite often of my notebook. And I was about 5 days after our loss, and I hadn't actually spoken out loud to anyone yet, but I was furiously drawing this better solution because I knew that our friends and family were struggling to help us. And, they responded the way so many of us do, which is we have this, this photo of this wall of flowers in our living room. And it was beautiful, but they also kept saying, we don't know how else. We don't know how else to help, especially from far away. And so it's, there are tools that make it easy for us to help in these ways for our neighbors in our community, our church community, our school community. It's really common to set up these meal calendars and dinner drop-offs when someone has a baby or someone's recovering. But our communities tend to be spread out now too.
And this brings them all together.
Yeah, allows anyone to help from anywhere.
This all sounds great. And I have this idea, but it costs money. But there again, you have a great story. Tell us about the Female Founder Alliance and your experience with Ready, Set, Raise, because I think that's an amazing story.
Yeah, so we participated in October. Well, first of all, so it took about 3.5 years of us actually funding Give InKind ourselves.
Okay, so it started just on your
Hiring developers started on our own. Yeah.
You're in Tacoma at the time, or were you in LA?
Yeah, no, we were, actually, we were in LA when we came up with the idea, but we needed to hire a development team, and we needed to do it affordably. So we packed up our then 18-month-old son, and we hired a development team in Thailand.
Oh my gosh.
And we caught a plane, having never traveled in Asia anywhere, and we stayed there for 3 months, and we built the first version of Give InKind.
What an adventure. And that's
a big adventure.
Some confidence in your idea.
Absolutely. Yes, my husband is a designer, a web designer. So together we knew that we could do this. We just needed some development support, and we needed to do it cheap. We sold our house. We went all in on building Give InKind.
You're probably ready to make a break, start something new and exciting.
Yeah.
And here you are in Thailand.
Yep. So we did that, but then we came back to Tacoma. So it was time to return to Tacoma. I wanted to build my company here. I wanted to raise my family here. I'm from here, and it was time to return and get the support of our family. My mom's
family
here,
support.
and
I've heard this happens.
We were going to need that.
Yeah, I know people at the Institute of Technology now, the School of Engineering and Technology at UW Tacoma, who said, we're going to have them learn here. They're going to go elsewhere, but a lot of them will come back. And you're proof of that, which is really cool.
So we did. So then we spent the next 2 years testing Give InKind. And then it was time to take it to the next phase and come out of what we call the beta version and be ready to market it and really have the impact that we have now. So then I participated in the Ready, Set, Raise Accelerator with the Female Founders Alliance.
Which is a big conference with hundreds of people and all kinds of funders from.
Well, it culminated in a demo night, a pitch night. Okay. So it was 6 weeks of really hard work, remote with an incredible group of other female founders from around the country, and they helped us really just polish our investor pitch.
Okay.
We'd taken in a little bit of investment. I'm proud to say that both of our first 2 investors are based here in Tacoma.
That's
so
great.
there is an ecosystem that is growing here. And then we were kind of ready to put our big girl pants on and went to Seattle and pitched to about 300 people at the Science Center.
And $1.5 million later, you're on your way.
And $1.5 million later,
with
we're
funders
growing a company here.
Yeah, just amazing. And some of the big companies, the Madrona Group.
Yeah, the Madrona Venture Group, Trilogy partners in Seattle, so all in Seattle. And Alliance of Angels.
Funding you here.
There's some members here.
You've been featured in GeekWire today, King 5, all this success. So just real quickly, how do you make your money? from this to keep you going?
Yeah, it's a completely free platform to our users.
Right.
We get revenue from the gifts or items that are sent off of the site.
I see.
So we also sell a lot of people really like, some people just, they want to help quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we sell a gift box on the site that is curated here in Tacoma, built at the Pioneer Collective.
Wonderful.
So we do sell those and make some money there. Mostly it's a little bit of revenue share off of the transactions on the site, but the platform is totally free, and people, to do the crowdfunding, they connect their PayPal or their GoFundMe accounts, and so we don't take any extra fees on that either.
That's so cool. I'm so glad to know that this, first of all, that this resource is there, because I can see how it helps so many people. I'm sure you have stories about how it's helping people.
So many. I mean, everybody from, and stories here in Tacoma, you know, families with new babies is the most common situation. Actually, more than 25% of Give InKind pages are set up to help families with new babies through the postpartum period. I think that we're paying a little bit more attention these days to the fact that, like, we don't just need pacifiers and blankets, we need real help, like hot meals and someone to walk the dog. And, you know, especially when we're on, you know, with my first kid, I needed things. And with my second kid, I needed help.
Right.
I needed somebody to, you know, take my older kid to the park
and
so that I could spend a little more time.
That substantive support, and so it's gratifying all the way around. It's just a great business model. So I'm thrilled to know this is coming out of Tacoma and that you're here as part of the community, attracting other people. I know this is the start for female-owned businesses and other entrepreneurs to come set up here. It's just a great place to do business.
Thank you. I agree.
Thank you, Laura, for being the guest today on Business Matters.
Thank you.
Up next, history and convenience in shopping, food, and family on District Focus. Connecting people to business is what Tacoma is all about. Sound Transit continues construction of the new Link Light Rail Extension project. Tacoma businesses along the line are preparing for the launch on this episode of District Focus.
Hi, I'm from the Stadium Historic Business District.
And I represent the Hilltop Business Association. The Hilltop Business Association is comprised of all the businesses and the residents of the Hilltop area.
What I think is really unique about the Stadium District is the historic significance of our architecture and the founders of our city that lived right here.
Mostly we're mom and pop stores, and people want to support people that they know. So I really feel like the Hilltop has that uniqueness about it. We definitely see with Sound Transit bringing in the transit through here in 2022, we definitely see more people coming up here, wanting to work here, wanting to live up here, wanting to do business up here.
Well, we've been looking forward to this. We've known about that it was coming for a long time. It's going to be a different district, and I think we'll have to go through those growing pains as we adjust to the changes. But I think they're exciting. They're part of what a metropolitan area looks like.
We're seeing the future growing. By 2022, we don't even know where it's going to go. We just see positivity up here.
The one thing that has been really helpful is that Sound Transit has been very supportive in informing us on a weekly basis as to what the next stages and what the phases are.
They're doing great with the signage here on MLK, really trying to promote the businesses of the Hilltop, even during this construction time.
And you might notice throughout the district and up on MLK that these large blue signs that indicate all of our businesses and trying to draw attention to them. And that's the support of Sound Transit, and that's been very, very helpful.
We want to bring more people to the community. We want to show people that our community Hilltop is growing.
The change that's happened is that we have to look forward to the change in the future, and that's the only constant that we know.
For information or updates on the Tacoma Link Extension project, visit Sound Transit's website at soundtransit.org/system-expansion. When we return, Andrew Fry on Small Business Tacoma. Economic growth and opportunity are part of the Tacoma business scene. Andrew Fry has a few more business tips on helping your Tacoma company grow.
One of the people I love to talk to business about, just about starting a business, entrepreneurship, incubation, all that sort of things, is Thomas Kuljam, who is the director of VIBE, the Veterans Incubator for Better Entrepreneurship, located at the University of Washington Tacoma campus. I actually hold some of my office hours up in VIBE just to keep the activity going and the conversations flowing. And speaking of flowing, one of the things that Thomas tells me, as he is a banker by trade and does analysis for certain banks in terms of business viability, is that he said the biggest thing that surprises him about every entrepreneur and every business plan he's seen is that none of them seem to take into consideration cash flow. It's basically, in a nutshell, the amount of cash that's coming into your company versus the amount of money and cash that's going out. And what you're striving for is positive cash flow. Well, how do you know? It's something you go, well, it's easy, it's an intuitive thing, we're making money. It's not that intuitive, actually, when your company gets a bit more complex. So it's important that you run a cash flow report. You should do it monthly, and it basically says how much money is coming in, how much cash is coming in, how many of our invoices are being paid, and it's basically how are we fueling up in order to pay off all of the expenses, which is the cash that's going out. And then in terms of calculating that, how much have you spent on purchases of equipment? That's cash going out. Although equipment adds to your asset value, it's still cash that's no longer available to you. The employee payment, debts that you have, anything of that sort. So you can put together a simple cash flow payment. And that should give you a decent idea of how things are going. You can have a cash flow that's negative, and it could put you in the hole for $50,000 in the course of 1 month because your cash flow is negative. But if you've got $500,000 in the bank, then basically you still got plenty of time. You've got about 10 months worth of burn before you're out of money. The next month, you might actually get $70,000 in and put $50,000 out, so you now have a cash flow positive of $20,000. You haven't made up for that $50,000 that went out, but now you're cash flow positive. Oftentimes when you're starting a new company, it's not about how long it takes to get to be profitable, but how long it takes to be cash flow positive. So what else can you do in terms of managing your cash flow? One of the things that you can do is start thinking about where your cash flow is coming in from. It's not only customers, it's not only purchases. If you have investments or anything that gains in value, that can be part of the cash flow that you're discussing. The other one is your investment dollar. That can help you with your cash flow. You can go out and get money in terms of investment by others that might come in on a monthly basis. Let's just say that you have an investor who's going to give you $200,000 for your company. Generally speaking, you might take that at $20,000 a month, in which case you're getting a cash in positive of $20,000 a month. And that's how you can start to do your analysis. Bigger companies, it's a little bit more complex, and that's why oftentimes what you'll see is that you need help with your cash flow in order to make it through the lean months. We talked about seasonal businesses before, and that's when you actually go out and get a line of credit. A line of credit is there for you to use only when you need it. So if you find yourself surprisingly cash flow negative because a couple customers are taking 60 or 90 days to pay off their bills as opposed to the 30 that you'd expected, it's not going to disrupt your business so much because now you can actually draw from the line of credit as you get ready to get back to your cash flow positive state. And those are just some ways in which you can analyze and work your cash flow.
Thanks, Andrew. For more tips on launching and growing your business, check out Tacoma's Community and Economic Development Program at makeittacoma.com. When Business Matters returns, this isn't about caffeinating cats, but enjoying a great cup of joe with some feline friends.
Frolicking felines matched with your favorite cup of joe are the themes to this barista's cafe that is far from your ordinary coffee shop.
Hi, I'm Kristi. Welcome to Caffeinated.
Caffeinated is a new addition to Tacoma's 6th Avenue Business District. Owners Kristi Martin and Melanie Weaver brought the idea of a cat lounge coffee cafe to life.
Caffeinated is a cat cafe located in Tacoma, Washington. We are part coffee shop and cat lounge.
The cat lounge is a structure inside a structure for coffee customers and cat fanciers. It's an opportunity of watching the kitties from the cafe area or stepping into and experiencing the full frontal assault of cat energy.
Inside the Cat Lounge, we have free roaming cats that are adoptable from Auburn Valley Humane Society. Customers can come in and enjoy their favorite coffee, tea, or sweet treat and come into the Cat Lounge and find their new best friend. Adoptions have exceeded our expectations. Each week, all of the cats that we receive on Monday go home the following Sunday, and all of our cats each week have been adopted.
With the success of cat adoptions, Kristi says their business plan focused on a variety of levels, from felines to parking.
We have off-street parking, and before customers even set foot in Caffeinated, they really appreciate that we have off-street parking because parking can be pretty difficult here on 6th Avenue. Once they set foot in Caffeinated, they love looking at our merchandise, which is t-shirts, some cat toys, fun cat-themed items for all of the feline fanatics.
Customers find the place the cats meow, but Caffeinated features the human angle with locally sourced yummy treats and coffees.
We also have coffee that we partner with Valhalla, which is another 6th Avenue business. We also have plenty of sweet treats from another small business, Bon Appetina's, cat-shaped sugar cookies, and kitty cake pops.
And what would happen if the cat and coffee worlds collided? A menu of choices that's designed to tickle the fancy of the most finicky palates.
So some of our more popular items are the latte meowciatos, or a double chocolate meowca, espresso, and for people who don't like their coffee leaded, we do have decaf.
Kristi found a cat niche of helping others with their coffee and feline fun that seems to work.
Caffeinated has 2 owners, myself and Melanie Weaver, and we have 5 employees. People like the calming atmosphere here in the Cat Lounge. Cats help people lower their blood pressure, and they love to come in and have these zen moments with the cat.
There's also an interesting staffing mix of humans and cats. While one set of coworkers do the work, the other set of coworkers nap on the job.
Cats also, being primarily nocturnal, sleep a lot during the day, so you never know what you're getting into in here. Sometimes it's like this and it's very quiet. Other times everybody's playing with toys all at once.
Kristi says Caffeinated's business focus tracks on the perfect approach to catless customers needing a feline fix.
We've had customers who can't have animals at their home for various reasons come in and just enjoy spending time with our cats. A lot of students, local students, have come in because they can't have cats in the dorms or in their apartment. So they come and set up their laptops and have a cup of coffee and spend time with the cats, and that's all what we're here for.
As for expanding Caffeinated, Kristi says they're taking things one paw at a time.
The idea of a second Caffeinated location has come up, but because we're so new, we're kind of taking it month by month at the moment.
Location can make or break a business. In Kristi's case, she said a lot of research went into the pick, and Tacoma's 6th Avenue Business District was that pick.
We chose Tacoma because we knew we get a lot of community support. It's a large metro area, and specifically the 6th Avenue Business District because of the other grouping of small businesses.
Businesses need customers, and customers shop convenience. Kristi says Caffeinated is becoming a go-to destination for the neighborhood.
Caffeinated's turning into people's neighborhood coffee place, and we take that as a very big compliment.
Forever feline homes wrapped around a cup of coffee sounds as unique as does ownership of a cafe by 2 owners that want to do good.
Being a small business that's owned by 2 women, one of which is a veteran and a mother, and I'm a multiracial woman, it's an honor that people have opened their arms and their hearts to us.
That's it for Business Matters. Join me next time for more insight into the Tacoma business scene. See you then.